Morning, morning. Ah, new week, new opportunities. I believe we had a wonderful week last week. So hoping for another beautiful one this week. All right, so on to the chat with EU. We're still playing with our top-down analysis from last week, right? So if you go over the video, we were expecting this high to be taken in the sense that we want where we've distributed on a high time frame, right? So we're looking at three options. We're either expecting price to push up and take this high as our daily A plus and then sell, or we'll push up into this area. So from last week, we were in a buy scenario. So what we have to do is go down to the lower time frames and see if we're having any change in direction on the lower time frame to confirm that we're actually ready to sell, right? If not, we'll keep buying. So we have our buy bias and then our high time frame sell bias. So we have to examine internal structure to see what price is doing, right? So let me take this one out. This is our daily A plus. Let's go here. Yeah, daily A plus, right? So intervals. All right. Okay, so last week we were looking at something like this happening where we had a distribution on the 4 hour and then price actually selling from that distribution. We tried to sell, but we couldn't push further, and price actually continued to push up. And then we took the daily plus, sorry, the daily A plus. So what we're looking at now is to see if price would sell or continue buying. So we'll look at both scenarios. If price is to buy, what are we looking at? If price is to sell, what are we expecting, right? I need to clear these. Yep. All right. So now, all right. So back to the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, right? We've taken this high. Now, this is a distribution, right? So if we were only focused on the 4 hour, I would assume that we've had an exhaustion now. So then we're looking for price to pull back and then buy, right? This exhaustion would mean an accumulation. So we would push back as a pullback, as a retracement, only to buy, right? So we have that scenario to examine. And also, if we are playing with the daily, which is we've taken the daily A plus, and then we're selling, what are we looking at, right? So we have to analyze price this way. So on the 4 hour, if we're to continue buying, assuming we've had an accumulation and then we're only expecting a pullback to buy, then I'm looking for my point of inducement, right? So as we know, we'll look for once we have our low, we have an accumulation. You're looking for two things. All you can do is you can just use your fib. We broke with the wick of the candle, so we're looking to pull back around 88.6, or we're looking for our point of inducement, right, to pull back into and buy, or we're looking for this new structure, right? The fib area is only useful when we're looking for entries on the 5 minutes, so forget about the fib. So now we identify our inducement. Where is this is our low? We have this. Okay. We have this. We have this. Okay. Obviously, this is higher, right? So this is our point of inducement. All right. Now let's check if our inducement is in there. Okay. Yeah, we're in the discounted area. So if we're to buy, then this would be like a valid buy, right? So what would I be looking at? I'll be looking probably to buy up this demand, which would mean that I'll be looking for price to get into this area and then buy. All right. So even with our buy scenario, we're still expecting price to come into this zone, right? So that's one thing. So that means we're looking for price to do this and then buy, or probably sweep this and then buy, right? So we have one point of interest. Then I need to clean this up. All right, so let me see on the 1 hour where would our demand be? Probably this area. All right, so right on the all right, I'll deal with you later. All right, so this would be what we're looking at for a bullish scenario. Now, if our A plus should hold, right, then we're expecting that we'll see some sort of a distribution here. So in this case, this is our 4 hour. We are still bullish. Even if we're to sell on the 4 hour, even if we're to sell as a pullback to buy, then we need to also analyze the internal structure here, right? Your internal structure here to see if price is telling you that we're selling. To which point we don't know, but at least we know if we're selling, we'll be selling at least to this point for both buy and sell scenarios. So let's go on the lower time frame to see what we have here. So I had this price action from last week. We had okay, so this will become our new exhaustion. Right, we had low, yep, price kept creating new structure, pullback, break with wick. This was a fake break of structure. Liquidity. So usually we wouldn't have to mark these like this as a new structure because we eventually came down to take the inducement, right? But seeing this fake break of structure here, sorry folks. seeing this fake break of structure here, right? Uh, Seeing this fake break of structure here, right? I still need to mark it because this becomes a new structure, regardless of the fact that we came down to sweep this inducement, right? Being that we have an accumulation here, so this point will be my 1 hour exhaustion. That means if we break this zone, we're to go down, but down to where? If this being a 4 hour demand, right? If maybe target for the sell is here, then at the moment we break this inducement and we react from here, we cannot say that we've distributed, so we're still going down, unless of course we know that the A plus is going to hold and we're selling deep, right? Then the buy from here would only be like a little pullback to fulfill the sell, the distribution only to continue to sell, right? So that's something we can examine later, right? So now this is our new structure, right? So let's see what we have with the new structure here. We have this new structure. Let's see. We have our inducement here. We're very, very bullish within this structure, anyways, right? So if we're going to sell, what I will do is sell to take this inducement, right? If we continue down, I'll find a re-entry, but my target will be here. With the mindset that we're actually going to still buy, but there's a high possibility we'll respect the A plus and then sell down. But regardless, both scenarios play into price getting to this area before we see what price intends to do, right? So now with that in mind, I will look at what we have here to see, what we could trade with. So we took this change of character, right? We took this structure out. Now we have our inducement here. On this new structure, either we'll form a new structure to push up, or we'll go down into this inducement to buy. So what do we do? I missed this buy this morning. Oh, it's not easy, but I'll look at it later. See, price comes and then reacts inside your unmitigated zone perfectly. So looking just at this area here, right? Looking just here, we have a distribution. We have price. We have price doing this. We're looking for a pullback to sell, right? We have a beautiful distribution. So it's more confirmation that even the 1 hour is telling me we're most likely to sell, right? So my bias for today, Tuesday, until we get to this area, right, will be to sell from somewhere here. Now, if we look at the structure here, we had uh, we had this. Let me mark it like that. We had this. This becomes our liquidity. Right, so this will then become your consolidation, manipulation, expansion, right? So we have this range, 1, 2. Okay. Now, as you can see, we have no inducement in this area. So in this range, what did price do? Price came down to give us a fake break of structure, giving me more confirmation that we're most likely looking to sell, right? So we have this fake break of structure. and then this becomes our A plus. This will become our A plus, right? So what I'm looking for price to do is to sweep this A plus before selling, right? On the other hand, we have this break here as well. So we could, price could decide just to take only this liquidity and sell. So what do we do? What we have to do is go on the lower time frame because it's the 1 hour. We have to look at our 5 minutes, see what the price is doing, and then identify an area or some sort of distribution to sell from. Right. So first and foremost, I'll be looking at price to take this high before I look for sales. But I also need to understand. I also need to look at this area being maybe liquidity to push price down. So I'll examine this area as well to see if we have any form of distribution. We can have a reaccumulation to push up, and then price will take that reaccumulation and then form a distribution, right? Then again, you realize that price would be selling from this zone, right? So I have something to work with for this Monday. We could have gone to buy here, but it's one of those things. We won't catch everything. Right? We have this as some liquidity. So this is our high time frame bias for today, probably Tuesday and Wednesday, depending on how fast price moves, right? So I'll go on the lower time frames to see if we get any trade setups, and I'll post that. So for now, this is what we're looking at. Right? We're either looking to sell to this area and buy, or we're looking to sell and then maybe have some pullback and continue to sell. Regardless, we're selling to this area before anything else. So we have our direction. If we manage to get like a 5 minutes entry, we'll just set our target here and then see what price does. All right, people, I'll try and get on gold as well, and then I'll let you know.